Greetings and welcome to VALO U. I'm Xelaadryth and I'll be your instructor for today. Today's class is Tactics 321, Whac-A-Mole. Whac-A-Mole is a kid's arcade game where moles pop out and you have to hit them before they disappear. In Valorant, I use it to describe the impossibility of winning against multiple enemies, where any target you try to kill immediately hides behind cover, forcing you to constantly reacquire targets and never giving you a chance for a fair fight, as they keep trading who is taking contact. It's essentially like being able to swing off contact over and over again. Playing Whac-A-Mole is effective because it exaggerates all the benefits of numbers advantage. During the time an outnumbered enemy is shooting at a single ally, a greater amount of potential damage is coming in. Adding an additional shooting ally might increase that potential damage by a percentage, but if your enemy's target takes cover, the enemy must waste time and acquire a new target while remaining vulnerable to everyone else. During that brief time, their damage output is 0. We want to maximize the time that their damage output is 0. To set up a Whac-A-Mole play, the first ally draws enemy attention without putting themselves at risk. This is usually done by jiggling some shots, pre-firing through corners, using utility, accidentally making a footstep, etc. Basically just trying to draw the enemy's crosshair placement. Next, all allies coordinate their swing, sometimes with a count-off like swing in 3, 2, 1, swing. The distracting player will often wait an additional half second before swinging to give enemies time to turn away and respond to the new threats. While the enemy is looking away, allies can then repeatedly jiggle into and out of cover between bursts, since longer sprays would leave them out of cover for longer. And finally, you simply repeat the above steps, taking turns distracting, peeking, and then taking cover when the enemy is gambling on your position. In this example, when I discover the last enemy, I immediately try to retreat to cover to ensure that we can use our 2v1 advantage. At this point, the Jett has to attempt to isolate her fights, gambling whether I'll re-peek her first or if my KJ will swing her first. My KJ attempts a distraction, full running towards the Jett and drawing her fire. Taking advantage of this, I jiggle some shots, attempting to pull her aggro back to me. Noticing that she was completely facing me, I wait an amount of time that it would take her to switch her aim to KJ before I reswing. Jett, however, ends up gambling that I would reswing first, and she's correct. I expect her to be facing KJ on this wide swing, but since she's ready for me, she even manages to isolate her angles by moving under the ledge. Knowing I just have to buy a little more time for KJ to see her, I continue strafe shooting, extending the window of opportunity that KJ has to kill her. Defeating the Whac-A-Mole is a nigh insurmountable task. Let's say you're in a 1v3 and they swing when you have no cover. The first step is to gamble and predict which enemy is swinging first. Most enemies aren't perfectly coordinated, so there usually will be a first enemy. Let's assume you have insane game sense and know exactly which 3 pieces of cover the enemies are behind, since if you don't, it's almost like you're in a 1v4. This gives you a 33% chance of guessing the first enemy to swing, and that's only if they don't time their swing well. You then have to win that initial duel before they have a chance to get back to cover, having to about a 16% chance of winning that initial 1v1. And if they do make it to cover, you have to do it all over again, with the added disadvantage that 2 people are already shooting at you. After you kill the first enemy, you have to eliminate the next one before they can kill you or fall back to cover while you're trying to flick. This usually takes some pretty incredible spray transfer to achieve, and if they make it to cover, seeing you try to flick, you have to do it all over again, with the added disadvantage that another enemy is already shooting you. If the enemies are just trying to stall, they'll often all just sit behind cover and restart the cycle anew. This is especially true if they're harassing you while you try to defuse a spike, since they know that you're under time pressure, and tapping the spike is a clear signal for everyone to swing in a coordinated fashion. In summary, Whac-A-Mole is an extremely effective way to exaggerate numbers advantage. The advantage team takes turns distracting, coordinating swings, and taking cover, exchanging who is taking contact to force the enemy to keep changing targets. In order to overcome it, one must gamble and predict when and where the advantage team will peak, and repeatedly flick and reacquire targets. That's all for today's lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the lecturer or the TAs in the comments below. Thanks for attending, and we hope you enjoy your stay here at VALO U.
Spike down A.